Right now, millions of people are treating the daily news cycle like a casino. They trade on real-world events through platforms known as prediction markets, websites where anyone can buy shares in a yes or no outcome. If you think you know who is going to win the Super Bowl, you can log on and put your money on it. But sports are just the entry point. You can place a wager on the exact number of minutes the president will speak during the State of the Union address, or whether a specific piece of legislation will clear Congress. This animated graph tracks the sheer volume of those trades across the two largest platforms, Polymarket and Kalshi. In 2025, they processed a combined $50 billion in wagers. By early 2026, that number surged past $130 billion. Forecasting has moved from specialized data circles into a massive financial industry, competing for user attention at a scale that corporate tech giants can no longer ignore. Mark Zuckerberg is watching this trading volume explode, and he recognizes the opportunity. Meta currently has over 3.5 billion people opening its apps every single day. When a company reaches that scale across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, it hits a hard ceiling on growth. There simply aren't many human beings left on Earth to acquire. At the same time, existing user feeds are packed solid with video recommendations. Executives have realized they have zero digital real estate left inside their main apps to test out new product ideas. To bypass this gridlock, Zuckerberg recently directed a small team to build something completely independent. He ordered the creation of a standalone smartphone app designed to directly clone the mechanics of Polymarket and Kalshi. When user acquisition stalls, a tech monopoly has to find new ways to extract value from the audience it already holds. The most viable corporate strategy right now is to pivot and monetize the internet's most volatile new behavior. Internally, Meta calls this top priority experimental project Arena. It is built to operate entirely outside of the core Facebook and Instagram ecosystems. Arena uses a point system instead of cash, bypassing heavy federal gambling regulations. Meta tried this in 2020 with Forecast, a flat knowledge-sharing tool that failed. Now Arena replaces that flat model with a highly cyclical, gamified betting loop. Once that loop is optimized, Meta has a distribution advantage no competitor can match. They plan to point a fire hose of existing traffic from their social networks directly into Arena, overwhelming rival platforms overnight. Arena is a carefully calculated Trojan horse. It takes a $130 billion unregulated casino, strips away the immediate financial risk, and packages it as an accessible game for half the planet. But scaling this system introduces a severe vulnerability. When a platform allows you to place odds on virtually any real-world event, it creates massive financial incentives to trade on inside information. In April of 2026, federal prosecutors in New York charged a member of the United States Special Forces with exploiting exactly this kind of flaw. The soldier had access to highly classified intelligence regarding a top-secret military plan to capture Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela. He took that confidential information and placed wagers on the outcome. According to prosecutors, those bets allowed him to illegally extract over $400,000 from Polymarket before the military operation was even public knowledge. When anyone can wager on geopolitics, a single market allows a classified military operation to be traded for personal profit, turning international crises into games rigged by those with access. Policing this kind of insider abuse falls onto the shoulders of one obscure federal agency. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC, is suddenly tasked with an overwhelming new responsibility. Originally designed to oversee traditional agricultural and financial markets, they are now expected to monitor millions of digital bets made by anonymous users. As this diagram shows, there is a severe mismatch in scale. While the trading volume on prediction markets rapidly expands past $130 billion, the CFTC has actually shrunk under recent administrations, leaving it with its smallest staff in years. If Meta completes its development of Arena and funnels its 3.5 billion daily users into this ecosystem, an already understaffed agency will be completely paralyzed. Meta is deliberately stepping into a regulatory vacuum. They are capitalizing on a broken federal watchdog that cannot possibly stop them. Washington is already moving to block Zuckerberg's expansion plans. Senator Richard Blumenthal recently leveled a direct public accusation against the company. He argued that Meta purposefully copied slot machine mechanics to addict users to Instagram, and now they are using those exact same behavioral tricks to turn their entire company into a prediction market. To counter this, legislators are rallying support for two bills, the Kids Online Safety Act and the Prediction Markets Security and Integrity Act. The goal is to lock down the mechanics before they reach billions of phones. Meta insiders maintain that Arena is strictly an unreleased internal experiment. However, the sheer amount of resources dedicated to the project reveals the company's clear corporate trajectory. Meta is pivoting away from simple social networking in favor of high-stakes prediction. Their strategy assumes that the most effective way to keep users engaged is to turn the future itself into a betting floor.